All right, guys, we have such a fun episode today. I'm sitting here at Opera House Coffee with Miss Esmeralda Garcia,
Whoop whoop. That's
who
me.
you will know as Esme, but I think her name is so incredibly beautiful. I like to use the whole name.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
So, hey, girl, I just want to tell you that I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to Unshakable, Faith Talk for Teen Girls in a Noisy World. This is a space just for girls who want faith to feel real. If you're trying to follow God while also just figuring out life, you're in the right place. I'm Hannah, and I've been here. We're going to talk about how to walk with God even when life feels messy. So relax. You do not have to have it all together here. I want you to get yourself a comfy spot, get you your favorite beverage. We got our iced coffees here, and we're going to get into today's episode. So I want to start out with Esme telling us a little bit about her background, who she is, what school she went to, what she does now, all the highlights. Give us a highlight reel.
Okay, the highlight reel. My name is Esme, like you said, and I went to school in Antlers High School. So I grew up there between the ages of 12 and 19. That's when I went through the last part of elementary school, middle school, and then high school. So I graduated from Antlers High School in the year 2020. And that's a
lovely.
big year. Big year. I don't know why, but it was a big year for everyone.
Yeah.
And from there, my freshman year of college, I went to University of North Texas in Denton, Texas. That is where I got baptized and just started my disciplinary, would say, walk with the Lord, like my own kind of faith, growing in my own faith kind of thing. And then my sophomore year of college, I grew very anxious out of nowhere and had to come back home to Antlers. And then when I was kind of thinking about where I was going next, I realized that my first step to the University of North Texas was not of it was my own and not of God's. And so I tried again. I, asked the Lord where he wanted me to be, where he wanted me to go. And I'm not joking. Durant, Oklahoma was where he sent me. He provided a place to stay, like a home, an apartment with my roommate now, a job, and a community all in one, like 1 week. I prayed the prayer and he answered in double time.
That is incredible.
And that's literally how I came to Durant, Oklahoma. My sophomore year of college, I took a gap year and just was a banker for a year at a bank. And then I went back to school in that fall, and then started to go to Southeastern Oklahoma State University, go Storm, and studied communications. And my major was communication at NPR. And then my minor is psychology. And I graduated from Southeastern last December. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of like the highlight reels of like what I've kind of done. Oh yeah, and then now, sorry, I forgot what I was doing.
Yeah, no.
What am I doing now? So
it's hard to talk about yourself. You're doing a great job.
Thanks. And so now, all this to say, it's been a long, treacherous road. But in between of all this college stuff and figuring out what life is and my walk with the Lord called me to ministry. And so my junior year of college, the Lord first opened up an opportunity to work at FBC Durant as the college ministry assistant. And so ever since then, I've been the college girls ministry assistant, and that has been awesome. And actually, just now, I just got promoted. I still have the same title, but I have more hours and more just flexibility and like kind of staff power. I don't know how to say it, but like it's been really sweet to work with all those people. And just recently as well, I am working at the pregnancy center, Bryan County Pregnancy Center, which I'm a client advocate. So I do more of the counseling, walking through.
Oh, that's cool.
Another set of women. I've middle school through end of college at FBC Durant at the pregnancy center. I have literally everyone. So, we've seen moms from the age of 14 to 45, and so we just do classes for them, kind of advocating for them, kind of advocating for their baby, for their families, encouraging them in any part of life that they are, and then just providing any resources, physical needs that they might need, sonograms, testing, all the kind of stuff that we do. So like I realized, the Lord has called me to ministry, and it's really clear cut to say that it is women's ministry, and walking and being with women in all kinds of stage of life. And so,
I mean, we need each other, right?
yes. And so it is really sweet. And I mean, I know people do, like, you have done it, you know, you have, I don't know if you've shared this with people, but you've been like the women's ministry director at Fusion. And so like there is women ministry. Like, I don't want to say that there isn't, or there's women working with one another and doing it, but
Yeah.
it's been really sweet for it to be my job. Like,
Oh, I'm sure.
I think it's just like different, you know,
Yeah.
like it is not in the back burner. It is like my priority. And that is a privilege. I've come to also like be really grateful for that. It is a privilege to be like, this is my job, to reach women, to walk with them, to be able to help them in any way that I can, spiritually, physically.
And I love that you're able to kind of show us what that looks like, because in history we haven't seen just a whole lot of that.
Yes.
Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I've listened to other women talk about how, you know, they're just kind of like paving the way. They're just kind of following God and what He's leading them to do, and they don't really have anyone to look to go, okay, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel, definitely, because I'm the only person in our church that does this. Again, not in the sense of, there's many people that do women's ministry without being paid. So I think of like so many people on top of my head, but as staff and with the responsibility to do it, I think it is like kind of like really, really having to trust the Lord. And I'm so thankful for the staff at FBC Durant, because they trust the Lord's plan for me, and so they are just like running with it too. And so it's been really sweet.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a step back just a minute.
Yes,
I just want to ask you a couple of fun questions to start off with.
Let's
Okay,
do it.
so I want to know, what is the funniest thing you've learned about adulthood so far?
Man. So if you've done the math, I am 24 years old, and I am turning 25 this year. So I'm in my mid-20s, and I've come to learn that no one really knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I'd say that's true.
I'm like, in the sense of like, you have this, when you're in high school or in college, you have like the anxiousness or the pressure to be like, I don't know what I'm going to do when I graduate high school, or I don't know what I'm going to do when I graduate college, or I don't know what I'm going to do like after I graduate college, or doing all this stuff, or where I'm going to college, and like all this stuff. And that just keeps going in the sense of like,
wait, so you're taking my hope away?
Yeah, no. But like,
I'm just kidding.
No, but not like in a strange way, not in a bad way necessarily, but it is a continuous thing that you have to place in the Lord. Like, I do not know what I'm going to do next year. Like, genuinely, like, I have this job and I love my community and I know my family and friends and all these things, but like, I don't know what that's going to look like in a year. Like, adulthood is ever changing. Like, you have a bill to pay and you're like, dang, now I have to work extra and it looks different, or things happen in your family and you're like, oh my goodness, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Or I'm fully an adult now, so I'm navigating new stuff, and I'm like, I'm really hoping I'm doing the best that I can. Just kind of like that of like,
no, for sure. And I feel like that's something that God's been teaching me here lately too, is just to take the next right step, just to do the next thing that He's calling you to. And you don't have to know about tomorrow. You don't have to know about next year. And that's scary for us, right? As humans, that's really hard.
And it's like, I wish that I could, because even when I was in high school or in college, I wish I could take that pressure off myself, not because it's going to continue, but it's because it's just life. It is just adulthood, like having to trust the Lord with like everything. And so, in my high school and my college life did not look like anything that I thought it was going to look like anyways, but in a good way. Like, the Lord really surprised me, but I would think
I feel like this is some really great advice already. Take that
I don't
pressure
know if
off
it's
yourself,
funny,
guys.
but
I do think it's cool. So you kind of mentioned that your college years haven't looked like what you thought they were going to look like. So what did you expect it to look like versus what it actually looks like?
Man, okay. So I genuinely thought, this is going to be deep. I don't know if it's like ice breaking, but
Go for it. I want to hear it.
So I grew up in southeastern Oklahoma, very small town and stuff like that. So I had two really big expectations. One of them was that I was going to find someone that I was going to marry, and then get married, and then like graduate college, and then like, or like find someone during college and then finish college and then get married. Some version of that. part of life, because in my culture, like in southeastern like Oklahoma culture, small town,
Yeah.
marriage is a really part of your life. It's like a goal, like it is like an expectation, maybe even of like even if you're not in faith or not, we're gonna take even like just like religious. I think it stems from religion, but there's a lot of cultural Christianity in that. But just marriage is very high and expected, and so I was expecting that, because I was like, oh, it's just something that happens, and then it didn't, and I was like, okay, but in a really good way though, because I genuinely have had such great fun times in college, and
I love it. I love it.
I like literally
That's
like
great.
because I wasn't married, I did so many cool stuff, and so
I mean, because you've got plenty of time to be married. I'm all about having that college experience, doing the things that you can now during the time that you have.
Yeah, so that's like something that I expected, and then also like I expected to have not like a lot of money, but like money in a sense of like survival, and it's like you don't have any money, and you're like, wow, okay.
Yeah, so ramen is real, right?
Ramen is real. Like, it is so real. And, and I'm also in that, like, I've experienced so many people that are being so kind and welcoming to my home, like, welcoming me, oh my goodness, to their home, and, free lunch and noonday and, like, all that stuff. But, like, also, like, the way the Lord provides in those kind of things, and you're not alone in that when you have like no money and stuff, but because everyone has no money. So yeah, but I was just like kind of shocked when I was like looking at my bank account, I had like $10, and I was like,
oh dang,
this is tough. So yeah, I was not expecting that low, but
okay, but that's real.
It's real.
So okay, I want to know, did graduating high school feel exciting, scary, both?
I would say exciting at the time. In my senior year of high school, I was in my peak rebellious phase. Oh yeah, against the Lord. And so I was so excited to go away from my family and be my own person. I was
I get that.
Yeah, my degree that I was pursuing at University of North Texas was international business.
Oh, wow.
And so I was ready to be successful and move 3 hours away and live my best little life. And so again, that was my expectation, and the Lord did provide that for me, like success in a different merit, living my best life in a different merit. But in high school, I really thought I was on top of the world. Like I really, and it's fun. I mean, and that is the top of the world, and it's a big accomplishment, like graduating high school.
Yeah.
Specifically for me, because my family education, the highest high school education or education at all, is high school, and so just graduating high school was like top of the world. Like I was like, the possibilities are endless. So I felt really exciting and kind of weird because I graduated during COVID, so everything was kind of weird, but.
Yeah.
And overall feeling was like on top of the world.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. So now, so I'm trying to process this. I'm putting myself back in your shoes. What was it like being at UNT, being on the top of the world, getting all the things that you thought you wanted? And then I think you said your sophomore years when you got baptized. So what shifted? How did that happen?
So I got baptized my freshman year of college.
Okay.
So as you can tell, you're putting one and one together. Rebellious face, senior year of high school, on top of the world. And then my sophomore year, I got baptized my freshman year of college, and then sophomore year, everything just kind of shifted again. So my first shift was literally my freshman year in college, being dropped off at my college dorm room, and there's no one there. Like I went to UNT knowing 0 people.
That's great.
Yeah, and because I was ready to go. Like I was like, I'm ready to take over the world, and so. And I remember sitting there, and my family dropped me off, and I was just by myself, like fully by myself. Didn't know where the Walmart was, like the bathroom, like nothing. Like I had no idea. Fresh off of just being there, and the loneliness really struck me, and the Lord really brought me to repentance that night, because I was so far away from Him. My junior and senior year from Him, like I was being rebellious. I got saved 8th grade year. And never follow up in baptism because I had my own questions about baptism. My family's from Church of Christ, and then I went to youth at FBC Antlers, and so 2 people were telling me what baptism was, and I didn't know. And in the midst of everything, I was being rebellious, so I didn't have time to really figure it out. So I never did.
Well,
it.
I'm sure it was a little confusing.
Yes, of
You're
course.
like, what the crap? I'm just going to live my life.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not, again, I was
Yeah.
doing my own little things. I was like, baptism is not my priority. Again, not right. Anyways, but so when I went to that night, my first night at UNT, that loneliness was like actually like made me physically feel like how far away I've like been like straying from the Lord. And I was like, dang. And like the Lord was like, this is gonna be you. Like, this is, if you continue this path, there's no one here. Like, there's no one here to hold you accountable. There's no one here like to make you go to church, because that's my family and friends, Antlers, like had that, you know, for me, like the expectation of going to church on Wednesday nights and going to church on Sundays and like hanging out with my friends. And so the Lord really was like, you have to choose me. Like, this is real. And this is how you're going to feel if you continue to like stray away from me. And so I repented that night. Cold turkeyed everything, like drugs, alcohol, secular music, because I had such a bad problem with cussing. Like, every single other word was a cuss word, and
I can't even imagine that.
I know. No, I'm telling you, it was bad, and all the real ones would know. Like, yeah. So like, I knew, and like the Lord, it was so sweet to me because He really gave me a clear picture of like, and was, you know, sometimes you ask for the Lord like, hey, help me understand or help me get better at following you, and you just have to He walks you through, but you have to do the work and you have to do the digging. That night it was really straightforward for me. Like, it was like drugs, alcohol, secular music, the people you hang out with.
And this is your first day
campus. Like, not even crazy. I know, like, it's not even I have not even gone to class. Like, it's like me in my dorm room.
I love it,
with my twinkle lights and like my new dorm accessories and stuff. But and I was like, dang, okay. And so I cold turkeyed everything, and I was like, I have to make friends at church and ministries. Like, I obviously still make friends with my classes and stuff as I was going and walking into that, but I knew that like my priority laid in like community and fellowship with Christian believers, because they would hold me accountable. And so that's how I started going to a ministry called FBC Denton. FBC has been walking through, I don't know, I just love it. But FBC Denton has a ministry called Overflow. I love it. It is a college ministry there that they have, and I met all my great friends that I still have today. I started actually meeting with someone in discipleship and reading and studying scripture, and that's where I found out baptism is a proclamation of faith and not salvation. And so I knew that I had to get baptized, and it was such a sweet moment because, again, not to like, it's just like my own walk with the Lord. I think it was also a gift from Him that if I was to get baptized earlier, I wouldn't know what it was, and I was still being rebellious. But truly, when I was baptized for my freshman year, it was like understanding and like proclaiming that I was a believer and I was following Him. Like, intentionally, like having that relationship, and He was my priority. And like,
I feel
scripture,
like it's like drawing a line in the sand.
Yes. And so truly for me, it really was like, I, you know, in youth and stuff, we hear these stories be very different and stuff, which is totally fine. The Lord still works through that. But for me and my story, that was so sweet of the Lord to make it do that way. Like, have it, yes, it was years between my salvation and my baptism, but in my baptism, it was such a sweet time, and it was such like a clear line in the sand for me. And so that's where I was like all gun-ho and everything, and kind of more of the Esme that you know today, like the very beginning of her and my walk with, like, just that my disciplinary walk with the Lord, like intentional relationship with Him. And I was doing great. Like, I'm telling you, I was living my best little life. And my friends and my community and growing in the Lord and getting baptized, like, I was doing great and loved Denton and I loved UNT. And then I started growing anxious, and so anxious to the point that I couldn't leave my dorm room. Like, it just came out of nowhere. And I was like, I ended up in the hospital because I thought I was dying. I was a panic attack. I never had one, you know, like I never had one. So I was like, I think I'm genuinely dying. And they were like, no, you're having a panic attack. And I was like, I didn't know these things existed. And that was a really big turning point for me, because I was doing what I was supposed to. But the Lord was still like, not punishing me, but like drawing me away. And I was like, I don't understand, because it's in scripture. It tells us that if we draw near to Him, He'll draw near to us. and he would pave our path. And I was just still so young. And what I wanted was to stay in Denton. What I wanted was to go to UNT and just continue my community there that I started and all that stuff that I felt comfortable in. And it came to the point where I genuinely couldn't leave my dorm room and all that stuff. And I was doing counseling like twice a week because, again, another thing about my story, I was addicted to drugs. So when I went to the hospital and they gave me that anti-anxiety medication, he was like, I literally think he was an angel. I don't know who this doctor is in the middle of somewhere, emergency room in Denton, but he told me, he was like, I'm going to give you 12 of these. And when you are done with this, it's done. You're going to have to go through a psychiatrist or a psychiatrist to get more. But I'm going to tell you that this is the most addictive drug in the whole market. Like out of like crack and like all this stuff. Like this right here is more addictive than all this stuff, and more people are on it. And more people are addicted than any of the other stuff because it numbs you and it, yes, it allows you to function. Like I was in such a place where I needed that numbness to even step out of my room to go to counseling to work through my stuff. But he was just like, this is the most addictive drug in the market. And so I knew then that I wasn't going to take medication because I literally just got done with overcoming addiction. And so I was like, no, thank you. So I had to work extra hard. I had to go to counseling twice a week and do a lot of stuff.
But I'm glad you had the clarity of mind to be like, okay, this is a bad choice for me.
I know. And so, and so I still, and that's where my own personal things happen. And as a counselor now, kind of where I stand in that. But anyways, and then I went home and I don't know, I went home and I felt so much better. I served at camp at KBA. Felt so much better. My first time leaving home again. And then again, I'm telling you that in that realization and serving the Lord, I made that realization that I went to UNT and stuff for my own desires. And I never asked the Lord, where he wanted me to go, what he wanted me to do, any of that. No, I never prayed that ever when I was a senior in high school. And I was, when I was thinking and what I was doing and all that stuff, never asked the Lord at all, zero. And so the Lord made that clear to me during the summer before my sophomore year of college. And so that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to start praying and I'm going to surrender this. And he answered in record time.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's great. I'm telling you,
because he knew, he had big plans for you and he was ready.
I know.
He's like, let's go.
I know. And it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. And even though my Antlers is an hour away. And so I understand, my senior year, I didn't want to come to Durant, Oklahoma or South Easy, because small town, it's just a bigger small town and everyone knows each other and there's not much to do and all this stuff. But I guess it's another expectation that I had that absolutely just was demolished as soon as I got here and got plugged into the church and ministries and all that stuff in community. It's the best place on earth.
Running through my head right now is Forrest Frank, your way's better.
Yes.
I mean, because it's so true, right?
Yeah, it's so true.
Even when we're like, nah, it's not God. He's like, just find out. Come on, just give it a try.
Literally, yeah. My friend literally just texted me, was like, I was driving on my way to Denton to try to find a house because I was like, Denton or home. Never Durant. I flew over Durant and Durant's the middle point between them. And on my way to Denton, my friend texted me. I was like, hey, do you need a job in Durant? I'm leaving. You can have my spot. Didn't even, I went in there one time and they gave me the job. And then literally my best friend was like, hey, my roommate, my sister, my sister's roommate just moved out to live with her boyfriend. She needs a roommate. I'm telling you, the same week. And I was like, this is insane stuff.
It is so good when you're following God so closely that you just know.
Yeah.
You just know.
You can't say no. You're just right, this is what I'm praying for. And here it is. So
that's awesome. Okay. So in your story, I want to back up because I heard something I want to talk about.
Okay.
Discipleship. There was somebody at that college ministry that discipled you.
Yes, ma'am.
So for a girl listening right now who's like, I want to follow Jesus. I want to know more. How do I do that? How do you find a disciple? How did that all happen? Because I feel like there's just not a lot of that going on.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's not a lot of going on. And I think that's the other thing we were talking about earlier, how there is a lot of women who are doing it, but this is my job and that is what I do, discipleship. And so So in that context, that's why I'm so thankful for the ministry, because that was the expectation of the ministry. So actually, someone came to me and they were like, "Hey, like, I know you're a freshman, like an older woman, and her name is Jaylee, and I love her. But she came to me and was like, "Hey, I've seen that you've been going to Overflow, like all this stuff. You're going to church and all these things. Like, are you being held accountable for like reading the Word and stuff?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. I don't know what that is."
Wow, I can't believe somebody just approached you. So that's heavy.
But that was, and like, but that was just like the expectation of disciples making disciples, you know, in discipleship. And so that in context, yes. Now, in the context of like smaller towns and like this, and like maybe in a culture where you're like, don't find yourself in that position of like, okay, I am a teen and I don't know what I'm doing, I would say that you can always approach someone. And I think that is a lot of fear. I understand.
Oh yeah.
But even in my job, you know, there's only one of me and there's like so many girls, and I do try to work through, but there are so many women around you, especially if you're like listening, you're going to like Wednesday night church, like in any church, or like Sunday morning church. Like if your mom goes to church with you, asking your mom like, "Hey, I want to learn more about the Bible. Is there any of your friends or anything that you would know on top of your head that to connect me with?" Or on Wednesday night, like you probably have women leaders. That's what they're there for. And, you know, like even like you have like we have Ryan, we have Haley, we have Ashlyn, we have like so many, Katie, like Kate, and so like we have so many of those girls that would, you know, and obviously their their job is elsewhere, and they are really busy girls, but like, or women, but like if they were approached, you know, they would say yes, or at least meet with you, or questions, or just building a relationship with you. So
so
I think
the wheels are turning in my head. I've been going to an older women's life group, and these ladies are so precious and so wonderful and so full of wisdom and so encouraging. I love them. I bet we could find all kinds of ladies that would love to. I mean, because like grandma type energy, that's where it's at.
the best.
Like some of these ladies, like I don't know if you're like me, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, I don't know, older people, are they really that cool? But like some of these ladies, they are spunky and they are fun and they've lived some life and they've got some stories, and they they get it, and they're there and they have time. Like retired women, they've got some time. And so, okay, for any girl listening that's like, I want that, please come talk to either one of us. I know we can find you some ladies that would love to help walk beside you and do life with you.
Yeah, I mean, it just means it says a lot about someone if they're serving at your church voluntarily around you, like in youth or on Sunday mornings or something like that, or in the welcome team or whatever. That says that they're willing to put in effort and like pour in. So any person that's already serving your church, woman, I would approach. You know?
Absolutely. Like, same sex, women to women, we get each other.
Obviously, I don't know. Maybe come talk to me and ask me about the person first, and then we'll go from there. But most of the time, I trust all of our volunteers at FBC Durant. So
I love this. I can't wait to get some people connected.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious. I've been reading one verse every morning, just like dwelling on it, trying to memorize it, and then I don't know, at some point I'll move on to another one. But right now I'm just loving this verse. What is like? Do you have a favorite scripture verse and a reason behind it?
Oof. I have a lot, but
that's awesome.
Here's my
share as much as you want.
I know. I mean, right now I'm going through the Psalms, and each Psalm is just so good. I read Psalm 16 yesterday, and it was so good. Just talking about, it talks about how the Lord is it says it like this, is my chosen portion. And so like, I think of that being so different than we are in this relationship with the Lord, and you're like, oh, the Lord has chosen me, like blah blah blah, this is about me, blah blah blah, which is good that the Lord has chosen us and made us wonderfully. Yes, 100%, but also dwelling in the fact that we also need to choose Him, and choose Him to be our portion was so good.
Yeah.
But my very favorite verse, this is my first verse that I ever memorized, and like I painted in my wall and everything in my walk with the Lord was Matthew 6:34. Therefore do not grow weary of tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself, for each day has enough trouble of its own. And this is Jesus speaking. And so when I was going through a really tough time, it was just like, this is Jesus who is telling these people that today has enough trouble of its own. Like the creator of the world, God of the universe is telling me to take it. That is today is hard enough. And that tomorrow he will worry about it. Tomorrow will worry about itself, and I need to just be. And that was just so good. So I think Matthew 34, and even just like Matthew 6:33 and 34, therefore seek him, and all this righteousness will be added onto you. If you seek him right before. But Matthew 6:34 has been something that, with my anxiousness, with my depression, with hard things, sometimes I tend to overthink or want to do so much stuff or worry about tomorrow or the next day or a year from now, and the Lord hasn't called us to do that at all.
So, I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And isn't it cool just to think about how Jesus came and he lived on this earth and he experienced the things, and he knows, he knew to say that. He knew that's something we were going to struggle with.
It's so crazy.
I know.
I can talk about it forever.
God came down and he lived on this earth. Why would you want to do that?
And I think that's the biggest hiccup for everyone, even in other false religions. I think about my Muslim friends, and they're like, why would that's a little hiccup, an encouragement to anyone who might be looking at other religions and stuff, of learning and stuff. Every religion is the same. It is other false religions, it's man-made. It adds to the gospel. It adds to the true word of God, and then it takes out Jesus dying and resurrecting from the death, which brings us life. And so my Muslim friends believe the Bible. They believe the Bible, and all this stuff, but they don't believe that Jesus died on the cross and he was just a prophet and not the Son of Man. And so literally they're like, why would the God of the universe come down on earth if he's powerful? He is powerful. He could just do that from the sky or heaven, wherever he is. Why would he ever do that? And I was like, well, that's just his love. And yes, he could have done that from heaven, made our relationship right or a pathway to him, but he chose to come down as man and suffer for our sake. And I'm like, that was a choice. It was a choice, because he is God and can do anything, but that was his choice to love us in that way that we could understand and physically, emotionally understand as well. They're this man died for me and suffered. It's just insane stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, I think Christmas and Easter, we kind of think about that part of it. But even for me, just thinking about just the life, just the everyday life, just the things that we go through, just the losing his friend and watching his sister, bawling her eyes out, and just all the hard things that we go through.
Yeah, his friend dying, and cry. He weeps, and I'm like, ugh. It's and it makes you feel not so alone when you're experiencing emotions too. Being able to understand,
that's so good.
When you're when I'm journaling or when I'm praying, and I'm I don't even know how I feel, and it's oh, Jesus does. He understands even the confusion of my emotion. In his man state, he understands. So it's it's awesome.
That's something I'm doing lately, which I feel is crazy to say because, I'm a little bit older, but I'm really learning how to just take everything to him. I don't know. I think that's hard for some reason. Every
so
little
hard.
thing we worry about, everything, just take it all to him.
It is really hard. It's so funny that you say that, because that's the thing that I'm struggling with the most, and not just contentment, not contentment in my life, contentment in the Lord. It is it is different, being content with how you look and how you are in life right now, and content that you are in a certain place in your life. That is good, but being content in the Lord is saying he is your portion. Like I said in Psalm 16, he is my portion, he is my joy. And that is hard. stripping away like your wants and needs and what you are and who you are and what you want and being like, Jesus is enough. It's like hard. It is so
Oh, absolutely.
hard.
Yeah. So do you have any like daily habits that you do to keep your mind focused on these things?
I hate to say it, it has to be reading scripture. Like there's just
Don't hate
like
to say
I know,
it.
I hate to
Say
say
it,
I
girl,
know,
say
I
it.
know, I know, Will. But it's just like I for many years struggled with reading scripture, like many years. Like it is hard, to be consistent.
100%.
And it always will be. But it is the most effective. Like it is I mean, it's just the enemy fighting that battle with us and trying to like let us not win or the Lord win and for us to not grow. But you just gotta. Also being vulnerable with people is also been really effective.
I love to hear you say that.
Yeah.
I love it. Keep going.
Yeah, like just being vulnerable with people, like in the sense of I have a community. I'm so thankful for my community of women right now that I have around me, that I can be held accountable, yes, but also just feel sad or feel angry or feel disappointed or feel really happy. Like, and so being vulnerable with people and them being also of faith allows me to check those things. Like if I am feeling mad, they're like, okay, but like why? Or like they're just making sure that in my really strong emotions, I'm seeking the Lord and it's not like of my own flesh and stuff. So that's been really good.
That's good.
Because like some people, like I'm mad at something and they're like, okay, but it's not that big of a deal. And I'm like, right.
Okay, so I feel like it's really, for some people especially, it's really, really, really hard to be vulnerable with somebody else. How do you create that? How do you go about finding friends, figuring out that they're safe, and then starting to open up to them?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Like, yes, I do know, but vulnerability really has to come from you. And I think it is such a special golden nugget when you of a person when you experience vulnerability from them first and then you second. I think that's so awesome. I think that is so cool. But honestly, like I would say, like going to church and like serving alongside people and getting to know them, I think you would like you can see if their faith is true or not. And if you see that their faith is true or not, like being like, okay, this is someone I can trust because they are believers of the Lord, and bringing and being vulnerable with those things, like in your life group at the same time. Like I have also my life group as well, and our life group is like brand spanking new, and like literally yesterday, like brand spanking new. We started, I think, in the beginning of this year, in August or something, and we were all kind of like sitting there, and we were talking about the Bible and stuff, and then prayer requests would go around, and it's like, like my dog died or something, like something important, but like nothing crazy. And then literally yesterday, we had one of our girls who, like one of my friends in the group that was really shy, like would never speak up or anything, share her testimony and be vulnerable about it. And so I just think it takes time. I just think it takes effort between the person and relationship. And I think you just have to realize that, like, if you're being vulnerable and they're not being vulnerable back, okay, maybe not the right time, not the right place. But also just being able to like have that time and effort. It just takes time and effort. Even in like relationships, I think about high school relationships, especially, and that's the biggest difference that I see. This, our students struggle with in high school is relationships. Like biggest struggle that they come to us about talking is relationships, all kinds. Parent, dating, friendship, like all kinds. And I think it's because like, and in college it's so different. Like you just jump that line and it's so different because people are vulnerable. Like that's the difference. Like people are vulnerable, and are willing to do life. And I think in high school you're so caught up in being someone. Like being someone, having an agenda, having things to do because of your parents or what you're wanting to do or whatever, scholarship, X, Y, and Z. Whatever your goals are, whatever goals that you've cultivated since you were 4. Okay. Like whatever, and in college you jump and you see like the world is so big, your life is so big, God is so good, and there's so many things. And so
And maybe just more freedom, right?
Yeah, more
to figure
freedom.
out who you want to be and what you want your life to be.
Exactly. And like who your friends are.
Yeah.
I would give them that. I will give them that benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, have been with this person since you were 4. And so it would be kind of awkward to separate yourself from them now as a 17-year-old girl. But at the same time, it's like, I think that's just the difference, vulnerability and the willingness. And again, that's also as a 17-year-old girl, maybe I wouldn't handle vulnerability like serious from my other friends too.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that you just have to grow and mature in, like handling those situations and being able to like not make light of them and like being comfortable with them because maybe they happened to you in your life. So I'll give high schoolers and my high school self give and take. Wasn't really good with vulnerability, but I wasn't old enough, I think, as well. But yeah, just hold on there. Relationships would come. That if you're in high school and you're like, my friends suck, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. So, do you recognize any red flags in relationships now that you wish younger girls would have recognized earlier?
Oh, 100%. So, something that in my life, I experienced and then I'm seeing a lot in guys, someone that keeps hurting you is not going to change. Like, I'm so sorry. Like,
that's good.
Even in quote unquote forgiveness, I've learned that forgiveness is an action. Like, it's paired with obviously recognizing the problem and saying, I'm sorry. Really important. I understand that because we need to hear that, and that is important. But it comes with action and change. And so that's just a red flag. If they keep doing things and it's just a cycle. Like, don't let yourself be treated that way. And I wish that I would, in my high school years, it's hard. You're like, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to, I don't want to be lonely and all that stuff. So I'd rather deal with this treatment than being alone. And it's just not great because then that will translate to your other relationships, like a dating relationship or a marriage relationship of being in the cycle of like fake forgiveness. And that's just your expectation of what forgiveness is. So that's just a red flag.
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta go.
Yeah.
You just gotta go.
And I would say this, and I think you would say this too. There's a great big world out there. For those of us who went to little schools, it's easy to put yourself down because you don't fit in or whatever. But just because you don't fit in with those 20 people you go to high school with doesn't mean that there aren't 20,000 million people out there, and they're all so different. And you just gotta find your people. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
You just gotta find your people.
I know. And again, I know that is hard and that is stressful, but even again, that's why I love church and I love community because you'll find them there. Like, it is intimidating, but you'll find them there. So that's a red flag. I would be like, if you're in a forgiveness cycle, you got to get out of there because it's just not putting yourself in a relationship where they can keep hurting you. Yeah. Because they're not changing. And so that's a red flag. Also,
guard your heart, right? And the Bible tells us
literally guard your heart in relationships and friendships and
not just dating relationships, but friendships too. Absolutely.
Yeah, like literally, just don't put yourself through that. So that's a red flag that I would just be like weary of. Yeah,
that's a really good one. Well, I could talk to you all day.
I know,
and this has been incredible. I love getting to know you, but I feel like it's about time to wrap things up. So, is there anything else that you're thinking that you would want to say to the girl listening right now?
I would say just a little short encouragement of like, if you are a walking believer in faith and you trust the Lord with all your heart and you're in a relationship with Him and you are saying the right things and you're doing the right things, but in reading and doing all the good stuff and going to church and being a good person, but you don't have an intentional relationship with the Lord, it's never too late to start today. Like opening that Bible up and reading and then walking through it with the Lord, like praying through your scripture and being like, if you don't understand it, like asking the Lord to let you understand and like being like, okay, Lord, I don't know how this applies to my life. Like if you open it up to Psalms, like I recommend you writing Psalm 16 today, and being
I'm gonna do that. I'll do that later.
Do it. And if you don't understand it, like seek the Lord out in that. Or you're like, okay, Lord, I understand it, but like, how do I apply this in my life? Seek the Lord. Like, that is the difference between doing what is right and being a good person and having a relationship with the Lord. So I just see so many girls in this culture of Christianity, of an expectation of going to church, doing good things, not partying, and they're like, I'm doing pretty good, and like going to camps and doing all this stuff. Not bad stuff. Keep doing that. Not telling you not to, but what does your one-on-one look like? And as a believer in Christ, we know that the Lord will never abandon you. So He's there. He's like with you right there, standing next to you, waiting for you to turn to Him. So I would just say today, spend some time with Him. Like,
I love it. Yes, because that's the main thing, right? That's the reason why we do all the other things.
That's the reason.
Don't abandon the main thing.
Yeah, don't abandon. I just see students being so busy and so overworked, and they put their relationship with the Lord as those busy things of like, I have to read my Bible, I have to go to camp, I have to serve, I have to blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, why? And it's, well, none of that matters if you're not spending time with God. So
absolutely,
and it's hard. So I want to
hear this because I feel like there are times in my life when I needed to hear that.
Yeah. So
it's not something we don't know, but maybe a little reminder we needed today.
Yeah, just a little reminder of like, and then just again intertwine of like bringing it to Him, the Lord. Do life with Him. Just do life with Him. He's waiting for you. So
I love it so much. Thank you so much.
Of course,
this has been so fun.
It's been so fun.
So guys, if this episode encouraged you, I hope you'll take some time to sit with what stood out, pray about it, and talk it through with a trusted adult, youth leader, or parent. Please follow or subscribe. It really helps this episode reach more people like you. It also notifies you each time a new episode drops, so you never miss a thing. Just a reminder, this podcast is here to encourage you and to point you to God's word. Don't take our word for it. Check out the scriptures for yourself and ask God, like Esme just said, to show you truth. Thank you for spending this time with us today. I'm really proud of you for showing up, listening, and growing. I'll talk to you next time. Until then, remember, you are known, you are loved, and God is creating an incredible story through your life, even the messy parts.